Hey guys, welcome back to the next unbiased views. We are fast, we're furious. Topics to be covered today: Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy. Some updates on Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy. The England versus the Sri Lankan game that happened that ended. There's not much to talk. And Gabba. So it's us today again. Me and Keur. What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Excited about the game, but doing good. Before we go anywhere, if you guys are watching it for the first time, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, give us a shout out if you can. That will help us a lot. So, coming
That's
back
my
to
man there shouting it out. Please, guys, do it, man. Continue.
Syed Mustaq Trophy, I have not really kept tabs of what happened yesterday, but
Mhm.
what are the latest updates?
So there's this Virat Singh which is playing for like that's the only thing that I have. Virat Singh is the only person to score three consecutive half centuries with an average of strike rate of more than 150. So which is making a mark and which is the only thing which is standing out as far as I have seen it from the post that I could see. So apart from that, there's no real news from the domestic circuit.
That's good. Maybe he's increasing his stocks at the IPL, scoring at the
Mhm.
right time. The next topic that we had was England versus Sri Lanka, or Sri Lanka versus England at Gaul. England was requested to score 36 of those runs and seemed like a hiccup, but I think Bairstow saw them through, and England managed a 1-0 lead in that series. So I do not see the results changing any whichever way in the second test as well.
Mhm.
But stranger things have happened in cricket recently. And speaking of stranger things, let's go to Gabba, day five.
So what a beautiful day! What a beautiful start!
So, absolutely. I mean, my biggest, I wouldn't say concern as such, but the biggest worry for me was Saini getting an extended spell for reasons. I mean, clearly he was bowling in 120s, wasn't getting his rhythm right. I don't know why he was trusted with the ball. And then the lack of using Sundar when the players are in. Like if the tailenders are in, why don't you not Sundar, but why don't you use Wash Natrajan to clean up the tail? The tail always wags and adds that extra 40 runs.
That's been always the case. This is the third day in a row that we're talking about tailenders. The later part of the innings playing and contributing to the maximum level that they could. So that has always been the case with the Australian lineup. India has now started to do this. But yeah, and those 40 runs are not quality 40 runs, right? Those are just bat swinging. The way
Absolutely.
that's not those are so I wouldn't consider that as what Shardul Thakur and Washington Sundar played. Those were technical shots. Some of them just went by, but most of them were technical shots. So when I say tailenders whacking it off, it's just not right to not have them and show them that they are the tailenders. So that's what I feel we should be able to wrap them up in no time at all.
My concern with that still stays the same, that even with the likes of, we have all these specialists. I thought Rahane missed a trick there by not using using
Natra.
Natrajan the go. Yeah. But
So Mohammad Siraj.
speaking back to yesterday, I think, and Shardul may not really have all the numbers to back it throughout the test, but his contribution to this test has been immense. With the bat, with the ball, 7 wickets in his first test, I would say, because the first
That's a
test lasted.
dream debut. That's the dream debut that anyone would hope for.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say it was his debut as such, because he played one test match before this and he just lasted for 10 minutes, had a strain and had to be called off after he bowled, I think, he was on the pitch for just 10 minutes. So technically, yeah, not his debut, but
No,
his first.
that was the practice game. That was not the first game.
No, that was a first game. Shardul is in his second test match.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He had played his first test match in England, in West Indies, and was pulled off after the first 10 minutes as such. He just couldn't hold up his. He had a side strain. So this was technically his first complete test match where he is in for the whole 5 days.
So here's the thing, right? The way he has played and the way he has just showed his class, and so the first innings, if you consider all the wickets that he took were T20 wickets, were not traditional wickets, were not someone nicking him to the keeper or something like that. They were all T20 wickets, right? And the second innings, he just turned it apart. The way he has taken Tim Payne out is tremendous, and he doesn't bowl that quick. He is in the 130 mark, so he is not that quick. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, he bowls between 135 and 140. He tries to stay there. But we know that the 140 delivery that he does bowl is an effort ball, and he cannot bowl with that same consistency at a temperature of 33 degrees centigrade in Gabba day in, day out. So, yeah, and like we spoke last time as well, what makes Gabba or Australia a difference maker when it comes to other series is the clay is used in the tracks and the pitch. The clay that is which is hard, and that is what offers the extra bounce. So if you look at it, the pressure that the bowlers also exert actually strains all the way back to their hips, and that is where all the strains and injuries are coming in from. So yes, it's not advisable if you're not a consistent bowler on the Australian tracks to overexert yourself. Plan B for that would be use bowlers in smaller sets, like just 4 overs. Let them know you're just going to bowl 4 overs and go all out. But whatever we did, we were able to extract more swing than the Australians were throughout the game. So even the 40th over, and the surprising part was Washington Sundar wasn't really getting as much. He was coming round the wicket for reasons unknown. He could have got, I think he would have been a lot more lethal if he had come in from over the wicket and tried to bring the ball in a little bit, and then the stock ball being the one that doesn't move. But Shardul was getting that shape throughout. So promising signs for India. Promising, definitely promising signs for India. So coming to Siraj, what an amazing achievement. 5 wickets.
In his debut series, of course, that's one of the greatest things any bowler would dream of, and that too in Australia is a treat to watch. And
So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, no, continue. Sorry.
So what makes it special for me is right before the series, he got the news that his father had passed away. So the emotions, he couldn't even go back, because if he did, he wouldn't have been able to come back with the protocol. So those emotions sitting in the back of his head. We also saw him tearing down in at the Sydney Test when the national anthem was on, and that was his second test. Technically, he was given the ball and asked to spearhead an depleted Indian bowling lineup, where collectively the three bowlers that we had, or four bowlers that we had what, 13 or 14 test wickets among them. And you're playing against an Australian side which have a collective 1,000 plus test wickets backing them up. So he was a spearhead. He played a role like a spearhead. And with Siraj, you know that the way he has been bowling, he's just not letting the ball out. He's banging the pitch. He's banging the pitch every time he has been coming to bowl. So all those emotions backed up, all those things that come in together, if you think about it, this is a monumental feat, which I feel really sad his father was not there to see. But his son
Absolutely.
made it out. And irrespective of what happens with the results today, I think this team India can come back with their head held up high.
Absolutely, absolutely. Gavaskar has tweeted, the great Gavaskar has tweeted with saying, "Doesn't matter what the results are. Indians should be proud today." And
Absolutely.
absolutely, absolutely, without a doubt, Indians should be proud of what we've achieved today. Wrapping Australia up
Another thing
for,
is, the good thing that happened yesterday was I was glad the last session got washed out a little bit. I did
Mhm.
not want Rohit getting that horrible
Yeah,
moment yesterday where he wants to suddenly hit a six of the last over, or for that matter, this morning when he comes in, it will be a completely focused Rohit Sharma who comes in, and I feel so. There was questions going on, and I don't know if you get the same commentary that I do. But Alan Border and Mike Hussey were talking yesterday, and they said, "I think Australians should be good to retire, good to declare, because it's 236 on the board, and no one has scored over 236 at the Gabba." And then Alan Border says, That is all true, but they have Rishabh Pant. So the Pant factor stays at the back of their head that this man can actually take away the game in a session or even less than that.
Absolutely. But don't Rishabh Pant is just the cherry on the cake, wherein the actual cake is made up of Rohit Sharma and the top three. Rohit Sharma, Pujara, and Rahane. So these are the ones who actually need to fire, right? So if we are playing for the win, these three are the ones who should, you know, take it on and just score.
If it was me, I would like to reshuffle the batting lineup tomorrow. And with reshuffle, I mean if India gets a decent start, that is if Rohit and Gill are looking at chasing right from the get go. And I would say that okay, at least for the first hour or so, first hour 35 40 minutes at least, try to just draft an inning, get the feel of the pitch,
So
stay
anything
there.
more than
Just stay.
80 and 90, if the top order contributes, I would not hesitate to push Pant out.
I would actually, if it was me, I would actually push Mayank in just because of the mindset that Mayank has come in with. He has a T20 backing behind him. He's still in the T20 frame. I think Mayank will be the difference maker tomorrow. So I am dividing this batting
Interesting.
lineup into different forms. One is Rohit, Mayank, and Pant, who
Gill.
can actually make a difference in this game, versus the Pujaras and the Rahanes, who can blunt a bowling attack out if it needs to that come to that.
Correct. Correct.
Gill
Correct.
will again be a surprise. Will be a surprise. We don't know how Gill contributes under pressure, but the stakes are high. It's the trophy on, it's the trophy plus the fact that the Australians have been bragging about how Gabba has, they have never lost at Gabba. So that should also be a challenge. If that doesn't spur you on, then nothing should.
I guess it's the same thing that we said the last time. If you go in and go with an intention to win, you can make the difference. But if the intention is to draw the test match, then I don't know. I really don't know. Then it can go
Absolutely.
either ways.
And
Either ways.
with Rohit and Gill, the ones and twos will keep coming all the time. They will Ones and twos will keep coming. With uh, Pujara, we know that okay, Pujara is in, which means that one side is gone. It's pretty much not going to contribute at all.
That is just
And
going to hold his
he's
position
going to hold his
till the time there's a beautiful ball which is outside off and he tends to nick it away.
yeah. But the pitch is playing games. Pitch is going up and down. The ball is bouncing. The odd ball. It's not completely unplayable yet, but the odd ball is doing things. So I think that aggression would be the key. That if there is that odd ball, put the Australians on the back foot in the first place. No close-in fielders. And there is another news that is coming in from the Australian front, and that is that Mitchell Starc may not be able to bowl because he was holding and clutching his hamstring yesterday. So that was what
Hmm.
the news from the Australian dugout was. Definitely not the bowler that I would have liked to have been injured. I would have rather had Hazelwood not being able to bowl, and that would have been gold. But for me, Hazelwood's spell would be the difference maker. Cummins, not so
Absolutely.
much good because of the line he
With
bowls.
with the factor of rains, there's a 75% chance that it might rain, which will wash out the series. And with this, we get the Border Gavaskar Trophy home, and we get a chance to prove at in versus England. So
So we talk about the rain. Yes, the rain is a factor, but when you check the temperatures at the Gabba right now, it's raining right now as we speak. The rain was supposed to be overnight. There might be a few showers in the middle of the day, but the bigger concern for us would be, will the game start at the scheduled time? Because there might be a delay to begin with in the first hour. So it's not supposed to rain after 11:30 in the morning, and it may start again with rains after 5 or 6 in the afternoon. So there could be a delayed start, and there could be mid
an
interruptions with,
early end.
yeah, at the end. So we probably might have to also plan, if we are going to chase this target down. It's extremely important that Rohit fires. Extremely important that Rohit fires, because his ability to clear the ground is we don't
The
have to say
best in the
anything.
business. The best in the business.
Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully, we stand up.
Yeah. I guess that's it for today, guys. Before we go, please hit the like, please subscribe, please do whatever you can to put a word out. It would be really nice if you could do that. Please share it amongst your friends. Please do whatever you can. And yeah, that's it for today, I guess.
That's it. Thank you, guys. Stay healthy, stay safe wherever you guys are.
Peace out.